Good evening, everyone. My name is Calling Me Crazy, and today we have a very special video. The Halloween special video, in fact. And I am excited to be making this video. I kind of spruced up a little bit of gameplay here and decided to do something a little different, and I did some zombies gameplay. And this is one of my favorite maps of all time. I love Call of the Dead. This is such a fun map. I remember when this first came out, way back, I was like maybe 9, and I was almost too young to even play this map. I had my one of my older brothers and one of his friends played this map while I was just kind of chilling and watching them play, and I was like, man, this is sick. This is such a cool map. And eventually I got good enough to play the map myself later on, and I was like, man, this is a dope map. I love the snowy vibe. I love the boats. The lighthouse is really cool. The way the map just like works and the layout, it's such a fun map. I have a blast playing this, and this is on Black Ops 3 actually. This is one of the modded maps for the PC. And when this got announced, I think about a few months ago, maybe earlier this year, or it was like really late last year. I can't quite remember. I was so hyped. I was like, dude, I'm gonna play this map so many times, and this is probably my maybe 30th, 40th run. It's just a classic. It's very one to one. They got all the old guns on here. It's very well done. The Easter egg's even on here, but I don't really know the Easter egg or haven't tried it. Maybe I'll give that a try sometime on my own free time. But yeah, so we're gonna use some cool gameplay here. I think it fits the theme of Halloween as well. And speaking of Halloween, I used to really not be a fan. I used to really be a big scaredy cat and not really love the dressing up and going out. I did like the candy. I mean, I don't know what kid doesn't like candy, to be honest, unless you're just allergic or um, maybe you don't live in a nice neighborhood that has candy offered to you, which kind of sucks, to be honest. If I were you, I would try to get in a car and go to a different neighborhood and do it that way. Some people do that. I think actually a lot of kids do that nowadays. It's not an uncommon thing to do, just go to a different neighborhood. And honestly, if you go to like one of the rich neighborhoods, that's the best because they give out, big candy bars. But my neighborhood was nice enough to do that just outside of my house. I didn't have to go anywhere. I think a couple years I did. But yeah, I love that aspect of Halloween, but I hated dressing up for a while. I never liked doing like the face makeup or anything like that, and I kind of still don't. But I'm a little more, I think, festive about Halloween. I used to be a scaredy cat. I was such a scaredy cat. I did not like horror movies for a long time. I could barely handle playing zombies when I was a kid. I mean, I remember the first time I played Kino der Tote, my hands were like shaking holding the controller. And yeah, I've kind of warmed up to it. I've got kind of grown up a little bit, not as scared of a lot of things. And actually, I kind of enjoy horror movies nowadays. I just don't, I don't watch them too often, but when I do, it's a blast. I think I have a good time. And I kind of wanted to talk about this scenario that I had happen to me. I always got something going on, don't I? I always got some type of story to tell on this channel. But yeah, I wanted to talk about, as you noticed by the title, it's a once in a lifetime, and I got a once in a lifetime opportunity last week. So let me lay it down for you real quick. Of course, I'm going to talk about dominoes again because it's always about dominoes. Something goes on whenever I go to that job every week. I swear, it's just like a story generator. I'm just churning stories out of that job. But I was at Domino's last week doing my job. I was doing what I usually do, delivering pizzas. And what I noticed is that Halloween is actually on a Thursday today, which is kind of awkward for people that have like big time jobs, or just any job really. A lot of the adults are like, I can't really work, or yeah, a lot of college students are like, I got school tomorrow, or even the same day, I got too much going on a Thursday. Maybe I got a test or something. And so the weekend before, people usually celebrate Halloween during then. So it was really busy that Saturday, and there was a lot going on. And one of the deliveries I was taking it was pretty ironic. So I was taking we have these really, really big bags. I might have talked about this one time. We have these really big bags for huge orders, and these people ordered, I think, like 20 large peaches, which might not seem a lot. Maybe it was 40. I can't remember. It was a ton. And I had two of these giant large bags filled, and I had to take it to them. Luckily, they were like right around the corner, so they weren't very far. And they only the order was like maybe like $300, and they only tipped me $20, and I was like, that's terrible. That's not even 10%. If you want me to complain about something every now and again, it's the tips percentage that people do during deliveries are pretty bad sometimes. I wouldn't say a lot of the time, but pretty bad sometimes. And I mean, that's just tipping business. The whole landscape of tipping. I mean, some people don't even tip. They don't believe that's like a thing in other parts of the world, which it definitely is in the U.S. And unfortunately, it's how a lot of people make their money, which is a whole ordeal of itself. But anyways, so I was kind of upset coming into this guy's house. I was like, man, I do not want to drop this off. I honestly almost wanted to give the order to someone else. I'm like, $20 is not that much for how big this order is. But I went anyways, and I was reluctantly surprised when I walked in. They were so busy like setting up stuff. They were doing a big party, a massive party. I mean, they had food all over the place, and I was just like I was like one part of it. The pizzas were only maybe like a fourth or a fifth of the food that was out on the tables. It was crazy. They had all sorts of hors d'oeuvres and everything. A lot of drinks and stuff too. It was insane. This person was very rich. I don't know who this guy was, but he was a very rich person. And they were really nice. I walked in and they greeted me and helped me take the pizzas in and whatnot. And the guy slipped me another $20, so I was like, okay, that was worth it. And right before I left, this guy's dressed up as like how do I put it, like a steampunk kind of character. He's got like a nice top hat, and the two younger people that are with him, I guess it's his daughter and son, maybe, I don't know. They were dressed as the Lorax. The girl was dressed as Lorax and had a big like fat suit underneath, and the guy was dressed as a tree. It was so funny. I loved it. It was such a good costume gig. And the guy, the main dad, the steampunk dude, he like softly kind of gives me like a soft invite. He's like, you can come by again, like if you want, you can stay. Come on, have a drink. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, just wear your uniform as a costume, and it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And, well, obviously I'm on the clock, so I'm like, I gotta go. Like, maybe. I literally just said, like, think about it. And I actually did think about it. I started thinking about it a lot, and this was like such a rare opportunity for me to actually like do something like this, but I felt kind of bad because I was like, I don't want to intrude on this random family that I walked into just to drop off an order. I mean, the guy just slipped me $20 more, so I'm like, I don't know if he's actually being serious or not. So the next like hour and a half, I'm really like sitting there debating in my brain, should I go, should I not? I don't know. And then ultimately I was just like, you know what? It's the work shift is starting to die down. It's only about like 9 o'clock, and I'm thinking the way this party is set up, these guys aren't going to bed till like 2 a.m. So it's going to be bumping. There's probably going to be a ton of people here. And so I got off early. I got off like about an hour early, and I was like, all right, it's about 9 o'clock. Maybe I'll go swing by, and I'll just sit and knock on the door and see what they say. If they say no, I mean, who cares? I just go home and just have the rest of my night to myself. And so I took this crazy opportunity. I walked up to the door, and I had to park like a good bit away the second time because there were so many cars lined up, and I was like, this has to be the party. I walk up to the door, no one's at the door, and I just walk right in. No one greets me, nothing. I just walk right in. There is like a billion people in this house all of a sudden. I'm like, holy crap, dude. There's so many people here. And the costumes, man, the costumes were unbelievably good. And someone told me while I was there that this is like the last time this guy was doing a party like this. So I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I just stumbled into this party, randomly got invited, and it's the last one for however long this guy's even gonna not do them anymore. I don't know. This might be like legit the last one. And the most ironic part was that they had live music at this party, and it was upstairs. And upstairs they had a bar as well where I got some drinks. And the dude that's singing the front stage is the guy that invited me. I was like, no way. I saw his hat, and I was like, that's the guy. I guess he's in a band or something. I don't know. It was crazy. But it was such a wild, ambitious thing I did. And, I mean, if you guys ever get an opportunity like that and have second thoughts, I mean, just go and send it. Just do it, man. You never know when you're going to get an opportunity like that again. And I'm glad I did. And it was just a great time. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to leave a comment down below, on the Halloween special episode. And if you want to leave a question, you can at my email address down in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!